Hey, and we are live. What is going on with everybody, man? It's your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Orange Dungeon, giving it to you real raw rugged. And I got somebody on the other line, man. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Who we got here today, man?
Yo, it's your boy Jay and next Jameel Naeem X, you know what I'm saying? New Orleans, Louisiana, representing, you feel me? That's about it right there, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm hyped to do this interview. We was talking about this a little bit off camera, but I've mentioned him through a couple of interviews because he don't put me on. I think you're familiar with Jamonte Akban.
Yeah, that's my man's dope put me on him. Dude, nice as fuck.
Fire. And my nigga Rari, he puts me on everybody. He put me on Jamonte. He put me on literally everybody underground. And probably like last month, he sent me one of your songs. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. And I hear you rapping. I'm like, oh, this must be like a up north nigga. But I think you said baby, and I was like, oh no, that nigga from Louisiana. I was like, oh nah. I was like,
Yeah, that be
niggas rapping
fucking
like that out there? And
that
they,
be fucking up.
man, bro, listen, I'm a down south nigga. So when I hear niggas from down south rapping, it make me happy, bro, because you know niggas from up north they give us stigmas like, oh, them niggas don't be saying nothing, they be mumbling, but it's
Facts.
like, come on, man. So when I hear
Facts.
you, when they hear a nigga like you, they can't say nothing. They just gotta be like, damn, this nigga fire, man. So is that something you think about, like, try to, I guess, put like a good representation of the South when you rap, because that's what it feel like.
Yeah, like, yeah, I try to put, like, talking about, like, some southern influence, you mean, like, type
Well, no,
shit?
I'm just saying, like, do you like when you make music? I feel like you make a good representation of yourself
Right.
by and bipartisan of that, you represent the South really well. I don't know if that's on purpose or just the way you carry yourself, but like I said, the way you carry yourself, you a respectable nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like you just seem
Right,
like an
right, right.
honorable nigga. So like I don't know if that's something that's just conscious or that's just something that's just you do because that's just how you are.
Right. It's just, I think it's just me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't do it. You know, it's really just a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to make the city look good on some shit, but at the same time, that I do want to do that. I don't want to make them look bad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But this is kind of like a natural. This shit happening natural. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel it. I feel like when I listen to your music, everything that you say, the way you act, it just feel like I said, you seem, you seem just like an honorable nigga, bro. Like you seem like if I was to hang around you, I would witness no unhonorable motives, no nothing. Like you just seem like a nigga that like you go to. Like, I feel like you go to prison like a 30 year. I mean, a nigga doing 30 years. You walk in that bitch, you like, hey, this nigga's honorable, nigga. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I know this nigga ain't snitched before. You know what I'm saying? You just seem
You can
so
see it in a
honorable.
nigga. You
That's
can
a
see it
fact.
in a nigga.
That's
You
a
know what I'm
fact. That's a
saying? Like
fact.
it just like C Murder said. Like if you watch that documentary, he like you can look a nigga in the eyes and tell. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like something about the eyes. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I got eyes tatted on me just cause like I just it's something about them, dog. So like you know I guess I consider myself honorable. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't about to let no fuck shit go on. That's why niggas like Nip and shit. You know
Yeah.
you know I get game from niggas like that. So you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
and
think
it, no, what you say?
I said I think I'm honorable.
No, for sure. And it's like I'm a nigga from Florida, like I said, and I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't think the Florida rap scene would be where it's at right now without New Orleans. And I see a lot of similarities. And I'm just be honest here. Florida niggas love New Orleans niggas, bro. Like starting from I'm gonna say early Cash Money, like going back from Juvenile Soldier Rags album. If you listen
Yes,
to
everybody.
if you listen to Soldier Rags the song, niggas, so many young niggas in like 2011, 2012, they just emulate that style. So that Boosie Wayne, that's Kodak. You know what I'm saying? All of that is just we look up to y'all niggas. I don't know if you
Yeah.
aware of that, but y'all some very influential niggas to us.
It's kind of weird because like as me as a New Orleans nigga, like I ain't really. I wasn't like big on Cash Money and them. Like
Mm.
it's crazy. Like I ain't gonna say like didn't listen to them, but you know that wasn't like I was listening to Pac and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like I could see the influence that they put on everybody. I forgot who just was in the interview on the Breakfast Club or something. and he was like he looked up the Cash Money like crazy, and it was somebody that I ain't think he'd say some shit like that. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? A lot of people looked up to them, dog. They had the '90s and shit. Like what that was, 2000. What that was?
That was like early, I mean, like late '90s, early
Late
2000s. Yeah,
'90s. They
yeah,
had that shit on lock, bro. They still got shit on lock
yeah.
too. It's crazy, bro.
And it's crazy because I was a little too young to see that influence while it was going on, but I was old enough to see the influence that Boosie had on Florida, and that Boosie had just on the South in general. But I'm in Florida,
Yes.
and I'm in Jacksonville to be specific, and he always in Jacksonville. So just to see that, it's like it was crazy. So me being a nigga that wasn't from New Orleans, how was that era when Boosie was popping? Like, was he just like that nigga in New Orleans at that time?
Man, Boosie been that nigga. Like,
Mm.
New Orleans always fucked with Baton Rouge, but like Boosie was like Boosie and Webby, man. That shit was crazy. Like when they dropped I'm On and all that shit. The whole world was just like us. Like we was just like the whole world. Like that shit was crazy. And then he had the documentaries. He like was dropping the fucking the little CD and shit when they were
Yeah.
counting the money on the ground and shit. It's like that's some classic shit, bro.
Nigga,
Bro.
I just used that video in some scenario where he like, if you see a fart in him, pussy.
Yeah, thanks. That's who NBA young boy continuing that shit. That nigga dog, like, bro, that little dude, he like Boosie times fucking 10. He like the Super Saiyan Boosie. You know what I'm saying? Like that little bitch getting it in, bro.
And it's crazy because I would never like I like NBA Youngboy, but I would have never expected him to be this big. Like I think he surpassed Boosie in the point of I don't think Boosie had white people the same way that Youngboy got. Like Youngboy got these little white kids going crazy. Like I don't think
Fucking
Boosie
right.
had that. What do you think it is about that? I don't get it. I don't get that.
I think it's just his, you know, he kind of like, he don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like, I feel like when you got that attitude, like, something about people like that, you know, we don't know why we like watching a fight or something. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? But like shit like that, it's like I don't know. I think that's why he get the masses. He like, but he calming down a little bit. But you could tell he on that buck shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think people like that low key subliminally. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I listen to him and I listen to a nigga like Future, and especially Future because Future's just like super big. I listen to their lyrics. I'm like, bro, they talking about some real like ghetto, ratchet, like just in the hood shit, like something that I know these white people can't relate to. But it's so crazy how they feel this music like they talking about they life or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's crazy to me. And I guess your music, I listen to you on a different end of the spectrum, and you just be talking about like some like nigga. I be I didn't want to put on a dashiki when I listen to you rap, bro. I mean, like nigga, I need a kenta cloth on my head or something, bro. Like I be
Thanks,
ready
bro.
to put on the kufi and whatnot. And I don't know your fan base, but have you seen that you have a large influx of like white fan base, or do you see majority black people?
Man, it's like I don't know, bro. Like a lot of Caucasian people and Chinese people and everything been popping up. You know what I'm saying? But at first it was just like some hood shit, just like black people and shit.
Mm.
But I think more, like you said, I think white. I think different races coming, like they support me a little more than black people, probably. But I think it's equal. Let me say it like that. I think it's equal all around the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's interesting because I'm looking at like this underground that's going on where like niggas like the slums in New York and like Mike Madani, Mavi, all of them niggas, and they're talking about a lot of pro black stuff. But I notice a lot of white people are really big fans of them.
You
And
talk about you say Mobby.
yeah, you know about Mavi?
You talk about with Earl and them.
Yeah, Earl and them niggas. Yeah, like
All right, all right.
all of them niggas. Like if you listen to Earl, some rap songs album, he talking about a lot of pro black messages in there, and I think it's interesting the way that they can code it, and white people can still rock with it. I was looking at an Earl interview. He said something interesting. He was like, if you listen to rap music and music like mine, we making slave music. It's coded. You know what I'm saying? It's like modern day
Facts.
slave music, and I'm coding it to my other slaves talking about black people and whatnot. And I was curious of your take on that because I thought that was an interesting thing that he said.
Okay, you said he said he it's like they're making slave music.
Let me pull up the exact quote so I don't take it out of context. But It was
Right.
basically him talking about slave music, and I just thought that was a
I feel
interesting
like
thing.
I think I know where you're coming from with that. I can feel that. It's like
He said exactly slave communication was encrypted, spoken in code. So this is really the new version of it. Talking about rap.
that's true. That's true. It was put in code. Like, but see, it was like at one point in time, not even on a technical part of it. Like sometimes they just didn't have nothing else, bro. And
Mm.
like you come together and they harmonizing and shit. I guess that shit send them vibrations through you. It's like it's deeper than just like you know what I'm saying. But I think he right though. Real talk, like it's like slave music, like you because you're expressing it.
Yeah.
Half the time though, they didn't even know how to fucking like talk and shit. Like they didn't let us read and shit.
That was
So it's like
illiterate.
you really had to you harmonizing was like you know what I'm saying. You could communicate and shit, but like you know what I'm saying. Like music was all a nigga had, bro.
And it's crazy because when you think about music back then, they was doing like Negro spirituals, and then to this day, when they like, you could be the most like non like I don't believe in spirits or God type of nigga, but when you hear like somebody with soul singing a Negro spiritual, you gonna feel that. You know what I'm saying? You could,
Crazy. It's crazy.
it's crazy, and that's why I feel like music like what you making right now, music like what Earl and Mavi and all these niggas making. I feel like it's important. I feel like it's a movement,
That's love.
and I feel like even though just the way he was talking about his slave music, it could be a slave from North Carolina and a slave from Florida don't even know each other, but their message is the same and they're encrypting it a little bit different, but it's the code and means the same thing. And I feel like that go for you. You might never met Earl, but I feel like what y'all purpose is to rap and bigger for black people. I feel like it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a movement that I feel like we need in 2020 for sure.
Yes, bro. Like, I'm glad you feel that way. We need a million people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas like me, niggas like Mac. You know, Mac homies. Like,
Hmm.
it's like we just. I don't really like talking about myself like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say like them. Like we all in the same boat. Like our time coming. Like I think we ahead of our time on some shit. Like, and I think I'm just fortunate enough to be able to make this little new sound and shit, you know, with the 808s. But like, I'm with Earl on the new shit, bro. That shit, it's about to take over, bro. Real talk.
And the nigga that I said put me on you and put all these other dudes on, dude named Rari, he keeps saying like, yo, I think this underground sound, this finna be the new mainstream, low key. And I was like, get out of here. But I'm gonna tell you what made me think it now. I'm seeing Mac Homie finna get Jay Z on the album, and it's like confirmed that Jay Z on the album, and it's like
Look,
that's
bro.
crazy.
When I seen that picture of, when me and my nigga Streets seen that picture of him and Mac Woods, that shit gave a nigga hope. Then the nigga like, I was so happy, though. I felt like I took a picture. It felt like I was sitting there. Real talk. Like, I'm really happy. You did. And it's like Griselda in them in the game. You know, he was fucking with Griselda before,
Hmm.
when they was on the come up.
Yeah.
So it's like, to see him shine too, like, it's like, yeah, I like to see that, bro.
I feel the same way when you say you seen the picture because I interviewed Benny a couple years ago, and now I see him at the Rock Nation dinner, and it's like I feel like you know what I'm saying. It's like a cousin I made it or something. It's like damn, bro, you there or whatnot, and that I think it's beautiful, man. And I feel like listening to your music. Not only do I feel like it's like a beautiful thing to listen to, I think you're really I don't like to use this word too much, but you elite, bro. You an elite writer, bro. You an elite writer, bro. You up there, bro.
I appreciate
Bro,
that, bro.
Halal is ridiculous. That song is I don't know what you was on when you was doing that, bro, but you was wilding on Halal. I specifically want to talk about that song. I don't know if you got a backstory on that song or anything, but that song is crazy.
It's really not a backstory. It's like, I thought of, look, this how it always happens. I'm riding the whip. I hear some shit like God being. No, matter of fact, I think I was like in Sears or something,
Mm.
and like I heard like that fucking sample, and I'm like, man, I gotta get that. Siri, my best friend, bro. I asked her, look, what's the name of this song? She give it to me, And I went home, I chopped that bitch up, then the lyrics started coming. So it was like, it's just like that. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know you produced. So you producing these too?
Man, I produced 99% of my shit I produced. I probably, throughout my whole career, I probably did 6 beats from, like, put 6 other niggas' beats on my album.
Mm.
Any other beat I do is probably a feature. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is all my shit.
Bro, it's crazy. I think the first song he sent me was Kylie Jenner, and I was like, okay, this is fire. But then when I heard Halal, I was like, okay, this is different. Like this ain't regular right here, bro.
Yeah,
This is
that's
not
true.
regular right here, bro. Do you have a favorite bar from that song? Because that song is filled with just absurdity.
I
It's
really
crazy.
do. I do though. Like
What's the bar?
it's the one when what I say the fucking when I talk about the colors. I said something about the colors. Uh damn, I forgot. I was just saying like the 3 colors, the primary colors combined. It's you know brown. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? It turns into a color like that. So and I'm just like. I think I said something. I can't. I'm bad at that shit. I'm not good at remembering that shit, bro. But like, it's that shit was fire though. Damn, how the fuck I think? It's in the beginning of the verse too, bro. Like,
Let me see what you. Let me see what you. Let me see. I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick. Let me see. Let me see.
get a meal and get my toilets and faucets coated with gold. It's like I'm doing donuts with my hands on the wheel. In other words, I'm spinning out of control. May I remind you, I aim these checks at your head and leave you red like an eye. I forgot this about to come. I never said grace when I was a child. Now I pray over every meal I kill like it's halal. I like that one.
Crazy. That's crazy. No, I don't know if I passed it or it's coming up, but you had another bar
It's right
about.
there.
It's right here. All right, come on, right here.
They shoot at your crown. It's like watching a Hindu slaughter a cow. My skin is the blend of every primary color. Brown. So see, so look, and then right after that, I say some shit. So something. So figuratively, it takes 3 to amount to one of me. God of the yeah, then right there, that part. What's that? Whatever I say right there.
Now it's the one right before that too. I love the. This is like when the Indian finna slaughter a cow. Like oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, that was crazy.
oh my god.
I ain't gonna lie, that bitch was crazy. Look, me and my brother Streets be going crazy. That shit was crazy. Cause it's like Hindus, cows is sacred.
Yeah,
So it's like, man, niggas don't be getting that shit. That's why I appreciate niggas like y'all, bro. Like niggas don't be getting that shit. That shit be going over heads, bro.
bro. When I heard that bar, the Indian slaughtering a cow, and I never pray over grace, but I now I do it like I'm doing halal. Nigga, I almost threw my phone. I almost threw my phone, bro. I was like, this nigga ain't just say that, bro. Let me throw my phone, bro. This is like these niggas like you. Like I feel like I don't know if you're familiar with this person, but I feel like you two niggas like doing something together. It would be ridiculous. Are you familiar with Daylight?
Fucking right, I'm familiar with that. Like that nigga be crazy.
My nigga, I interviewed this nigga, and he's a funny nigga, and I think right after that he did a freestyle. I think it's for L.A. Leakers, and this nigga said this bar, and it just reminded me of something that you would say. He said something like, dang, I can't remember. It was something like, they show Jesus. Dang, how was the bar? I can't
I
remember.
think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what
It
you're
was
talking about.
basically like they'll show all of these images, but they won't show a black Jesus. But it was the way that he worded it, and it was like
Yeah.
my nigga. And I think you two, like y'all minds are very compatible, in like the way y'all write. I think it's very
Man,
interesting.
that's a big fucking compliment because it's like me and my people we look at that dude like he like one of the he one of the lyrical gods like up there with Lux for
Yeah,
real. He up there with Lux, but like it's crazy how you compare me to him because he's a battle rapper low key. But I could still get on a beat and make it sound like I feel like a song.
mm.
And me and him kind of differ at that, but it's crazy like how you, man. I appreciate that, bro, because I fuck with Daylight, bro.
I didn't even think about that, but the way you attack the halal beat, it almost sound like you battle rapping. It don't sound like you got in there. Like I feel like the way you rapping on that, it sounds like you're familiar with battle rap. It sounds like
Yes.
it just sounds like a battle rap on a beat almost. Like you're not really attacking nobody, but just the way your delivery is, I can see that being taken out of the off the beat and just sound like you in front of a nigga for real.
Yes, I can. I think all my shit could do that because like every time it's like it's a fine balance between punchlines and lyricism.
Mm,
I try to give it a fine balance. Like I feel like that's how you could be I feel like the greats do that. Like if you could give a nigga some like a good 50% lyricism, I mean like top notch lyricism, not just no like just some deep shit that you seen on the news. I
yeah.
mean like some shit that a nigga really need to know. And like then you hit him with a few like entendres. He damn near the goat almost. You put a nice beat on that shit. You know what I'm saying? You nigga got their style right. It's over.
What you said? You said something like your top five just looking like a 5-star meal or something like that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on, man. Like, bro, I'm like, cause I love battle rap. So when I listen to rappers like you, my bar ears are on. I'm trying to catch everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to run it back
right.
a couple times. Like, oh, I ain't catch that the first time. So yeah, you like, do I love to ask rappers like this question? Like, do you have a bar that you ever wrote and you was like, I don't know if anybody gonna catch that, but this is really crazy to me, so I'm gonna put it in there.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think I remember. I did some shit like, um, I said I think I something about I said I ain't gotta sell cane, so I said I don't have to sell cane, so now I don't have to serve Vicks. I don't have to serve Vicks. Um, like a chick who got a sex change or something like that, but it was like serve like a Vic is
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah,
we call
yeah,
Vicks like crackhead, so it's like serve Vicks. It was just like it was crazy, and I just put it in the thing. I'm like fuck it, if they get it, they get it. It's like you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like I think that was like the crazy shit. Like
No, I appreciate when rappers or comedians are just like I feel like people should pander somewhat, but I feel like mostly it should be like, hey, I like this. If you don't, cool, but I like
hey,
it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you
man,
ever find yourself in that type of conundrum where you're second guessing yourself? Like, is this too crazy? Like, is this too complex? Or are you always just like, I'm going for what I like? Or do you try to, I guess, like try to find that medium or whatnot?
I think I pick a project and I choose what I want to do on it, and then they go from there.
Mm.
Like I felt like that a little bit with Morse code, but then I was like, fuck it. Like I try to balance the CD. So if I'm trying to go hard on a song, I'm gonna go hard on it, and it's like you get it and you don't. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like that with Morse code because it's just so like that bitch. The beat just so like unorthodox. It
Yeah,
just sound like it don't even got really drums, but it got drums.
yeah.
So it fuck your head up. But like I don't be giving a fuck, bro. I put it out. You
I,
feel me?
I love that, like when I could listen to an artist and I could tell that he wanted to do this. Like it wasn't no label person in his ear like, hey, do this, do. I could tell that he wanted to do that. And it's funny that you bring up no drums because I got to ask you about this. I haven't interviewed nobody since it came out. Have you heard this Jay Electronica album? I know he's a Louisiana
Yeah, I heard.
native. Any
I
thoughts
heard
on
it.
that?
I heard it. I heard it. And I just was talking to my nigga I consider like an OG in New Orleans. His name Cole Young. He be painting and shit. He be doing music. And he hit me up. He like, man, you heard this CD? And he ain't even have to tell me what CD he was talking about. You heard me? I'm like, yeah, I heard it. And he like, I'm like, just like, I feel to me, I feel like it's not a J Electronic album.
Mm,
I feel like it feel like a Watch the Throne to me. But
yeah.
like, but like, it's like he ain't fulfill. I feel like he ain't fulfill it. Like he need
Mm.
to make a solo album. That wasn't a solo album, but it's a great album. It's a good album. You know what I'm saying? Dope.
This is my theory on why it's like that. Because he kind of had a verse saying this, so that's what I think. I think that even though I think Jay Electronica, I feel like if he was like consistently putting out albums at the level that I think he could be one of the best to ever do it. And I feel
Yes.
like even with that pen, he has like a big insecurity and a kind of like anxiety when it comes to his music. And I feel like he doesn't have the confidence where it should be at, even though he's a super good writer. So I think he needed Jay Z to kind of give him a confidence boost. Like, yo, I got Jay Z on the album. Like, this can't be bad. I feel like if he would have put it out by himself, he would have kind of been a little subconscious. Like, yo, people would hate on this, and people are not gonna like this. But the fact he had Jay Z to fall back on, he like, yo, and give him a confidence boost. So I hope that after this, he kind of have a confidence boost where he can put out a solo album. That's what I think. I don't know. I could be wrong though.
Maybe it is, or maybe I think. To me, I think with the whole him not dropping like a real album is like, I don't think Islam. He's really into Islam, and I grew up. Like my dad was a Muslim, so I know what he. He from New Orleans, like I know him, like So I think he really devoted to Islam, bro, and he really don't really give a shit about that music shit. He give a shit about it, but it's like damn near haram in Islam.
Yeah, to make music, right?
To do like the music we do for you know what I'm saying, for music, So I think that got something to do with why he ain't dropping.
That's interesting because, man, I thought about that as well, but I don't know I can't remember what song it is, but I think it's a song with Travis Scott, and he just say, he's like, I look in the mirror, all I see is flaws, and he's just talking about like how he looking at himself, and
yeah, I heard that too.
So that just made me think like maybe he just don't got the confidence to release a solo album because, like I said, it's been all of these years, and I feel like people would have been we got these such high expectations for Act Two. Like niggas been thinking it's gonna be out the roof, and he just think like, yo, if I put this out, it's no way I could make these people happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's a weird predicament he put himself in. Like, do you ever find yourself doubting your abilities, or you got like pretty much confident in yourself?
I don't doubt, bro. Like I really feel like I don't know. I feel like when I cook up, it's good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think on it too much. Like Wayne say, I feel like Wayne, he said, I feel like if I think about it, like that's when I'm gonna lose it. I feel like that's how I feel. I don't think too much on this shit. You feel me? I just put it out.
How long you been making music?
Man, I've been making music since I was like, but like seriously, probably like 15. But like I've been doing music, like you know what I'm saying. I like 15 though. I've been rapping. Bro.
Hey man, all I gotta say is I can't wait to see what's next, bro. I've been listening to just you, and I wanted to do this interview because I view you as somebody. You seem like an intelligent person, and I just feel like I can have some intelligent conversation with you. I feel like we achieved that, so I'm glad that you brought out some time in your day. I was looking at your story. You post something, I was like, yeah, this nigga's smart. You post something about the hair. What was it? Explain that to me real
Oh yeah,
quick.
that's the catch. It's catch. It's like you let your hair grow. A lot of people do it. Like they don't know. Most people don't know the name of it. Some niggas just do it to do it. Like
Yeah.
like Jay-Z here when he start making an album, he'll let his hair grow, or like something like that. But it's really like a part of a religion, something they do. And I just seen it watching the documentary, and I was like, damn, I'm about to do this shit, man. So I ain't been cutting my hair and shit till my birthday. I'm about to drop this tape. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it.
You got any documentaries you want to suggest, man? I'm a big documentary guy.
Man, you say, hold on, say that again.
I said I'm a big documentary guy. You got any docs you want to request or suggest, man?
Man, bro, I watched so many. I'm gonna probably try to get you two.
Yeah.
They got one about this dude named Benjamin. I think his name Benjamin something. I think it's Andre Benjamin or something. But he had like a fucking a psychiatric ward, like you know what I'm saying. And it goes all the way into eugenics. That motherfucker like 2 hours long. Bro. It's a documentary on YouTube though. It's about the mental health and shit. Like it's a good one though. And then they got this one more. There's one more. You ever seen it about the King Leopold?
No.
Man, you gotta watch this shit, man. It's like, man, in the Congo, in Africa, in the Congo, just type in King Leopold documentary, And this motherfucker is deep, bro. He be chopping motherfuckers' hands off, like
I know
yeah,
exact nigga. I know exactly what you're talking about. You don't gotta say no. I know exactly what you talking about. In twelfth
you know what I'm
grade,
talking
in
about.
twelfth grade, I seen something on the internet, and then I remember like he was chopping people arms, feet off or whatnot, and white dude, right? And he
It's
was
a
white,
white
right?
dude got a big beard.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember going to my teacher the next day. Because I was in American history, and I was like, "Yo, why I ain't never learned this in school?" And he was like, "Like
They
they
ain't
don't
gonna
talk
teach
about
you
this." So
that.
yeah,
They ain't
so
gonna teach you that.
yeah,
You was
man,
in
I know
space.
exactly. That's bro, that was crazy, bro. Like I ain't never learned that, bro. I ain't never learned
That
that.
shit deep, bro. But like that one, and I got a few more, man. I'm gonna hit you with some more. I watch more documentaries than I read books, so I'm gonna let you.
Facts, bro. I don't finally found somebody who agree with me, bro. I like books are cool, but I'm a visual. I need to hear the. I like that. So
Yes,
I agree, man.
yes.
I like that. But hey, I don't want to keep it for too much longer, man. Anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I just want to say, fuck, stay up, man. Stay focused. You know, follow the team OTB, JNX. You know what I'm saying? Whoisite.com, and like, stay positive, bro. But they got a lot of bullshit out here, man. So stay positive. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. For everybody watching right now, hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, I say what I mean what I say. Haters gonna hate, players gonna play, and y'all holla at your boy.